Hello everyone, how are you? It's Jess from Capella Wellness. We are doing day 10 for my 12 days of Christmas. Today we are going to do a new moon in Capricorn reading. All right, we're going to see what we need to reflect on with this new moon. We all know new moons are about beginnings and things, and Capricorn is that hard worker. It's the I just lost my train of thought. The hard worker, the one who tends to be like very disciplined and structured. There's order here, there's organization, and I think I said diligence already, but this is, I know for me, like starting to get more organized with things. Like I'm kind of changing up what I'm doing for the next year, and changing up even most likely the schedule on my channel. You know, getting more into routine, but kind of more of a structured one. So there's a lot more things that come with that new moon. So we're gonna see what you need to reflect on first of all. So this new moon is occurring at 1 degrees of Capricorn. It's also squaring Jupiter in Aries. Mercury is shadow right now. Mercury goes retrograde on the 28th, so it's coming up. And it occurs at 5:15 Eastern Standard Time, 5:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check where 1 degree of Capricorn is in your chart. I'll give you an idea as to what is being activated, or what is what this new moon is actually bringing to light in a sense. So we're just going to start with the Moonology cards to see what we're activating, what the collective, what we're going to reflect on. We're going to do some activations afterwards. I'm going to check on what is activating for the collective with this new moon, and what is activating with regards to relationships. So if you've got a particular relationship in mind, we're going to see what this new moon in Capricorn is going to be activating in that connection, all right? And then I'll pull some tarot if they call me to, and we'll get some guidance for this new moon, all right? So let's see what we need to reflect on with this new moon in Capricorn. Holy Spirit, Archangels, Galactic Families, Pleiadians, Sirians, please and thank you. Thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, your support, and your clarity. Woo! I like this one. We have luck is on your side. The Archer, Sagittarius, the new moon in Sagittarius. So we got a new moon card, okay? There's something lucky happening with this new moon in Capricorn. I've been hearing a lot of things where there's some really good stuff happening for a lot of the collective with this new moon in Capricorn. It is the last new moon of the year. We're closing out the year in a few, like what? I don't even know how many days. It's close. It's less than 10, right? Yes. Anyway, I don't keep track of my days really, guys, so when I know I need to. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So Spirit is encouraging you to remember that you do have luck around you, but you also kind of have to create your luck. If you feel, it's like Five of Pentacles is the opposite of this, where if you feel like nothing ever happens for you and it's all Debbie Downer and it's just like, you know, mopey attitude, self-pity type of thing because nothing's going right, you're putting that out to the universe, and the universe is like, oh, is that what you want more of? So just make sure that you understand that the universe backs you up all the time. You just have to be more trusting in the universe. You have to be believing more in what the universe wants for you. But again, like attracts like, right? So with this luck is on your side thing, it's a very lucky time with this new moon in Capricorn. There could even be something with regards to, because Capricorn is work, it's career. It could be pertaining to like a promotion for some of you, or maybe getting like a bonus in your job, or there's something lucky happening with your business here. It may just take off, or all of a sudden all that hard work you're putting into, where it's been a little bit stagnant, it's been a little bit slow, you're going to get a lot more visibility, a lot more publicity, because I see Six of Wands with that type of energy. There's like a lot of victories here. There's also Wheel of Fortune I'm getting with this, but also with Sagittarius energy, it's like higher learning, right? Some of us we're ascending, we're leveling up with our gifts, with our spirituality. I also see travel with this. So with the reflection here though, it's again reflecting more on the higher learning, the spiritual side of yourself, along with realizing that luck is always on your side. You just have to believe that. okay? And you have to look at it from a different perspective and get out of the scarcity mindset and get more into an abundant mindset. So I'll read the card like I always do, but the bottom of the deck is you and your loved ones are safe. Now it's another new moon card. It's the new moon in Cancer, right? Crabby crabs. This is about the home. This is about family. Some of you are moving house. This is talking about something exciting is happening for your children, your child. Some of you are moving. I've been getting strong energy with people moving for the past 2 weeks. I mean, it's been strong. Like if the Chariot comes out in this reading again, then that will be like a confirmation, or whatever the travel cards on. I did say Wheel of Fortune, right? 6 of Swords, 3 of Wands, whatever. I get strong moving house with this. There's something lucky that's happening in the home. Or I just heard somebody's going to be lucky enough to get a new home or buy a new home, or somebody's buying them a home, something like that. There's something changing in the family dynamic. I'm also hearing, check what is in Cancer in your chart, what house and what planet or planets are there. Okay? So I know for me, I've got Venus in Cancer. My 4th house has Uranus. So there's probably like a dramatic change with Uranus being in there, the 4th house. So, and the thing is, guys, Cancer is the opposite of Capricorn. So go see what's like, there might be like a square or something there, or what am I saying? Yeah, because Cancer is opposite of Capricorn. So check those placements. Okay, what's happening in Capricorn with this new moon, it's also happening in wherever Cancer is in your chart. So check on that. There's some new beginnings happening in whatever houses are in your chart for Cancer and Capricorn, all right? So, but also with the reflection here, this could also be for others of you where this is it's time for you to spend. Why? I think somebody's nervous around here. I'm not gonna lie. There's like this interfering energy, but it's a nervous type of energy. Because it seems like with this new moon, new beginning, maybe something that I said with moving house, there's the change in the family dynamic. Maybe you're expanding your family, or you're moving in together with somebody and blending families, something like that. But I get this nervous energy all of a sudden. But what I'm trying to say is with the reflection here, I just heard, be grateful that you have family, okay? With the luck is on your side type of energy, be grateful that you have family around, because I'm pretty sure all of you watching this have some sort of family that you can connect with, that you can converse with, that love you. It's like, be around the people who love you, right? Because this new moon is 2 days before Christmas, all right? So 23rd of Capricorn. You guys should be watching this the day that I put this out there, if nothing goes wrong when I'm trying to upload this. So with the reflection piece of this is really looking back on how important family is to you and what family really means. Now, some of you may have family where it's kind of like you don't get along, or the belief systems are not the same, right? The spiritual side, maybe your parents are more religious and you're more spiritual, that type of thing. But it's kind of like the common ground, the common denominator between all of you. So, and because it's right before Christmas, some of you may be visiting family, and everybody's different, and sometimes it could be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. If you watch that movie, there's a huge lesson to learn, right? Everybody's different. And what Clark Griswold always says, it's like, it's not about the trees, it's not about the presents, it's not about the bonus, it's about family, it's about happiness, it's about joy. So this is not a coincidence where what I'm getting from what's being reflected on with this new moon ties into family. And I'm hearing it again, believe that, let's not believe, somebody is nervous. I don't know what's going on here. You have to say to yourself, I am lucky that I am surrounded by family, that I have family that love me, okay? It's like, if you've heard my story about the Lamborghini man back out in Singer Island out here in Florida, the one who had all these millions in the Lamborghini, and his family no ties because he got greedy and he was selfish, and all he focused on was his his investments, his career, and his money and his possessions. The kids don't talk to him anymore. The wife doesn't talk to him anymore. She divorced him, like all these things. And he's very standoffish. And I believe he passed away recently, where he was in this condo all alone on the beach. Who wouldn't want to live on the beach? I know I would love a condo on the beach. It'd be cool to have $1 million, but what does that mean, right? What does luck really mean to you? Is it winning the lottery, or is it having health? Is it winning the lottery or having people who love you, right? This is something to think about. And because Cancer is all about the home and family, it's mother energy. Maybe there's something here about your own mother, okay? And maybe you need to reflect on, and maybe kind of like either rebuild the relationship or rebuild the relationship with your mother, or maybe someone who's a mother to your children type of thing, or some mother figure, okay? So nurturing energy with this. So with this new moon, the main thing for a lot of the collective is to just really, really reflect on being grateful for the family that you have, even though it can be crazy. Now, I will admit, I'll be flying out to Virginia in about 2 days. So we already have some people who are there, and we're all coming in at different time periods. And one family of mine, the last of the bunch, gets there before New Year's Eve. So for me, I have Aquarius moon, so I like to detach myself quite a bit. I like to be a loner. I do great on my own, but I know this is another thing for me when we have get-togethers where it's like I gotta enjoy the family. Because here's the thing, I've got grandparents who are in their late 80s who I haven't seen in a long time, and now that I'm here and I get to spend time with them, and they're gonna be there too. They're actually flying with me and my son, so we're gonna be helping them out because they need wheelchairs and things like that on Saturday, early Saturday morning. So I offered, for me and my son to kind of help them out so they can take a plane instead of driving in a car, because some people are driving all the way to Virginia from Florida. So, but my grandparents will be able to handle that. Anyway, the point is, my grandparents are going to be there first and foremost. I don't know when I'm going to have another Christmas with them, right? So, and there are all these other things, right? Especially with where I'm at now in my journey, I am so different. I was already different ever since I was born, but I'm so different compared to everybody else in the family. It's like I really veered off this way and everyone's still going this way. So it's always been a thing for me, but I know it's part of the process. It's part of my journey, and I just have to embrace that, right? And it's more about, again, the family that I will be with, and we always have a great time, and there's always some crazy stuff that goes on. I think I mentioned before that my family has come close to having actual National Lampoon's Christmases. There was one year in Puerto Rico where we did have something very, very, very close to that. So so guys, even though you may have, family where it's kind of like, why do they do this? Why do they do that? I'm so different. Like, I don't understand why they don't see what I see. It's time to really just push that aside and see the divinity in everybody, right? Because again, we're not guaranteed tomorrow, and especially with the holidays, we don't know when we'll be able to spend another holiday with those people, okay? So, I am going to go read the Moonology book because there's always something in here. I'm hearing always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. Okay. New Moon in Cancer. I just flipped to that. So, there's a new start coming in your private life. Something is rising up in the connection with the people and places you hold dearest. This can be to do with a member of your family, a flatmate, or moving house, like I said. If you're hoping to move forward with something special in your private life, this card comes to you as a message that you can do it. If you've been neglecting your family, it's time to reconnect with them. If you've been neglecting yourself, you need to take better care of yourself and nurture yourself more. If your insecurity is holding you back, that's something for you to work on now. Doing so could bring you your heart's desire. So I get a strong energy with this insecurity for someone here. Let go of those insecurities. Somebody's trying to do something. Because it says let someone get a bit closer to you. Maybe that could be that for some of you. There's a little bit of insecurity that's keeping you from doing something that you really want. It's talking about it's blocking you from your heart's desires. Why are you going to block what it is that your heart wants? The heart wants what it wants, right? So why not go after it? So any insecurities that you're having about something, that's stemming from fear. There's no need to be fearful of what your heart is seeking, okay? This is also about making sure you put family first. A new cycle is starting for your child or children. It's time to review your goals. Have they changed? Meditation will help you banish your insecurities. Spending time near water will bring you peace and answers. The new moon in Cancer can be a super emotional time. The moon is all about emotions, and Cancer is a water sign and also very emotional. This card suggests that whatever happens next will be in your favor. It's especially positive for family matters. So whatever is going on with the family, guys, it's going to work in your favor, especially with Christmas coming up. And you're probably thinking, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's going to be a disaster. Don't put that energy out there. Okay? Don't put that energy out there. It's like Clark, when Cousin Eddie comes to visit, he's like, oh shit, like my Christmas is going to be fucked type of thing. But look what Eddie did in the end. He does have a good heart. He's just very different when it comes to loving family or how he operates, right? There's a Cousin Eddie somewhere, okay? So if that's resonating with you, there's something about, you know, see them for who they really are. It's seeing the divinity in those types of people. It's like Clark seeing the divinity, trying to see the divinity in Cousin Eddie. So with luck is on your side, it says whatever's coming your way, it looks set to put a smile on your face. The new moon in Sagittarius can mark the restart of fun after a period of feeling low. The energy is adventurous and even willing to take a few risks. But be careful you don't bet the farm on something here, as the wheel of fortune is still speeding. This card is about exploring life metaphorically by exchanging big ideas with others or just thinking about your own philosophies. Perhaps it's time to change your mind about something important. It can also signal a trip away is coming up. If that's something you're working to achieve. But the overall message of this card is that whatever happens next will be some sort of gift, even if that simply means widening your own worldview. Count your blessings, literally. Write them down or say them out loud. You need to laugh more. This is a wonderful time to start a course of study or teaching. Don't be narrow-minded. Start a week of gratitude practice. Being grateful for family. Sagittarius is a sign of fun, travel, exploration, and the great cosmic quest. It's a sign of big ideas. Its energy is expansive, upbeat, lucky, and divine. The new moon in Sag exudes all of this, as does this card wherever you draw it. Nothing is set in stone with the Sagittarius energy, and an optimistic energy could attract all manner of good things if you tap into the energy by expecting the best. Don't expect the worst. Keep a positive mindset, right? Not scarcity, abundance, not negativity, positivity. It's like I'm seeing the Sun card about expect the best. Whatever it's holding you back, expect the best. Have that vision. Just say, you know what? It's going to work out. It's going to work out. I'm going to give you some example, okay? Now, I would be surprised if my parents watch this, but I'm going to say it because I'm honest here. I took my parents to the airport today, and I love my dear father, but my father tends to be impatient, okay? It shows in his chart, all right? So, my dad's Aries sun and Scorpio moon. So, there was a little bit of tension there because they were getting close to leaving and I was going to drive. And I'm thinking, I was praying for my dad to have patience because my dad has a hard time with patience. He has a hard time with a lot of things and he gets stressed out very quickly. Okay. So instead of fearing the worst, I was expecting the best, a better outcome. And I prayed I prayed and I prayed. And then I visualized, okay, I put out positive words. It's going to work out. Everything's going to be fine. And I said, Dad, if you want, you can drive, and then I will just take over after we drop you off at the curb at the airport. And sure enough, the whole ride was pleasant there. And even though there was some crazy traffic and some crazy drivers, because in Florida, it's way crazier than Maryland, I will tell you that. I find this as something very fascinating because I felt my dad starting to stress out. And he was approaching the exit to the terminals for the airport. And there was a long line backing up. And I can feel it from it. He's probably thinking that there's going to be a long line to try to get to departures and arrivals or whatever. So we're going to departures, right? So I kind of like put the positive energy towards my father. And he started to say, patience, patience, patience. And it didn't get the best of him. I've seen my father go through things like these, and it's the complete opposite, where Aries energy just shoots up. Okay. So I'm explaining, I swear, there's a reason why that happened to me this morning, because I'm supposed to share this with you. Case in point is, think positively, especially when you're dealing with family members who are like that, especially with the case of my own father. Okay. I was always intimidated by my father as a child for too long. It lasted for decades. Okay. And sometimes since I've been here, it starts to trigger. But now I know how to deal with that. Now I know what I need to do. In case in point, what happened this morning, it actually fared out better than what I've seen in previous circumstances when things like that happen when my father is in that type of environment. Okay? It works, guys. I can't say if it works all the time. This is the first time I've kind of seen something like this. But I'm not the same person I was when I left. So for some of you, this is time to like really also reflect on how you handle people like that. Okay? Especially if there are people kind of like, my dear father. But I know it's just a way of learning to manage that stress and manage certain things. We all have dark sides to us. It's a matter of bringing the light to that, right? So, some of you need to reflect on that. And, I was just kind of like making sure the conversation was lively in the car and telling my dad, don't worry about it. Everything's going to work out fine. And sure enough, there was no line, and they were shocked because TSA was okay. The flight was okay. Everything went smoothly, and they left later than they had wanted to. And that's the other thing. Don't rush things. Don't rush family. Don't rush, period. Because even if you feel like you're going to be a little bit late, it's probably God's doing, because no, I'm going to make the situation better for you if you just allow me to work, if you just go with the flow, okay? And you have patience. So what we're going to do now is we're going to see what's being activated with this new moon for the collective. What is being activated for the collective? Holy Spirit, Archangels, Galactic Families, Playing Serious, please and thank you. Thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, your support, and your clarity. What is activating with this new moon in Capricorn? Apparently a lot's going on for the collective with this. This is the one deck that's bigger than my hands. I have very tiny hands, but I like my hands. And it's kind of funny. Little side story. I painted my nails red before I did this, and I kind of missed some stuff. I got it's not perfect, but I'll get it fixed. Fertility. This is Empress energy is what I'm getting, okay? What's being activated? The frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. The higher self, higher knowledge. It's tying into that new moon Sagittarius card as well, right? more courageous. Sagittarius is fire energy. Creativity is fire. Again, be lucky that you have family. React to them in a different way, in a more positive way. More joyful than we were before. More courageous, more open, more creative. This is also for that person or whoever has those insecurities. Be more open and creative. There's something about somebody wants to communicate something with someone. So, and they're having a hard time opening up or a hard time communicating how they feel or communicating something to a parent, family member. Be creative about it, especially if you've got like, you know, strong fire or water in your chart. Use your creativity to your advantage, just using the Empress energy. Okay. As it says, it activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. A grander expression of ourselves. Because some of us guys, especially if we're dealing with people who don't communicate the way we do, we have to be understanding of that. Everyone has a different love language. All right? Especially when you're dealing, if you want to compare men with women, women are a lot more communicative. They're a lot more vocal, okay? So, and they also can use more creativity with that, but there's more of like a written word or spoken word. For males though, not every male is like that. So we can't expect them to communicate in the same way that women do, all right? So there's something here about insecurity for someone. Be creative with it. It's your greater expression of yourself. Don't just go do things that are, you know, you're not really okay with or you don't feel comfortable with. Yes, it's stepping out of your comfort zone, being courageous, but this is more stepping out of your comfort zone with regards to activating the creative side within you to do something, okay? To communicate. So they're having me go back to the Moonology deck for a second. What's underneath the new moon in Cancer? Well, there it is. Communication is key. The new moon in Gemini. That is about communication. See? So there's something about communication for here. Now they want me to pick out something that's in this book. Time to tell someone how you feel. I felt it. Don't be all in your head and not in your heart. Someone is flirting with you. Read more books. Write a list of all the people you love most and see if you're prioritizing them. You see? Gemini, communication, socializing, ideas, travel. It's fast energy. Social gatherings. Gemini loves to chat. Okay? Talking things through is the answer to whatever it is you're asking about. Emails, text messages, and all other forms of communication will also help you now. And because Mercury is shadow at the time of the new moon, people are going to come back. And what's hilarious is that I had an old direct report of mine literally text me before I did this reading. And I haven't heard from him since I went to Williamsburg in April. I tell you, it's this every time Mercury goes shadow or retrograde, this one person comes back or he contacts me. I used to be his manager back in my systems engineering days. So it's just, it works like clockwork, but it's always with this one person who does that. But anyway, this is the time now for you guys to be a lot more creative with things that you do with family, things that with communication. It's just opening up to who you really are, like your true feminine side, okay? This is also with the fertility card. It's Empress again. It's creating things. It's being patient as well, which is why I talked about that story with my dad. There's also creating that fertile ground, right? But you're responsible for kind of like having that fertile ground. You can either, it could be barren or it can be fertile. Or if you're in the, like, say it's barren already, you need to move to fertile ground. You start looking around saying, okay, I got to plant these seeds where they're going to grow, right? If it's completely barren, it's dry, there's no water, no sunlight, nothing's really going to grow there. Unless you've got some of those plants that can grow in those environments, kind of like succulents or cacti. You know what I mean? But you're being asked to plant those seeds in that fertile ground and see what you can grow with it. Now, I'm also getting, it's kind of like when you're following the rule book about growing a garden, when you plant the seed, you do, what is it, the thumb, how many thumbs down in the dirt? I'm not a gardener, obviously. You got to be so many inches in the hole. That's funny, guys. My guides are hysterical. Plant the seed in it, and cover it up, fertilize it, water, all that stuff, sunlight. But there's something here about putting some creativity into that, as weird as that sounds. But again, with this Empress energy that I'm getting, be patient with it, okay? There's something about scattered energies for some of you that blocks your creative abilities. And I think it has to stem from maybe some of you are a little bit hesitant to do something creative or kind of be more open, like be more of yourself around people. And you have a tendency to lock up because you think there's only one way to do something. So even when you're planting that garden, it's kind of like, you know what? Well, let me plant different types of seeds here. Let me see what can grow here. Let me have a different method of growing this one seed type of thing. You know what I mean? You never know. You never know when it comes down to doing something the same way over and over again. And it doesn't really result in something that is the greater expression of yourself, so to speak. Because all of you have this innate creativity that nobody else has. And it's time for you to use more of that. Well, this is interesting. It says, when the long dark days of winter finally give way to the arrival of a new season, all of existence responds in glorious expression. And we are in winter right now. Okay? We are invited to consider fertility as the potential to grow something new and inspiring. An idea, a project, a new paradigm, the birth of something new. It's like a rebirth for you. It's like the winter time, everything slows down, right? It's nothing, the leaves aren't on the trees. You don't want to really be planting stuff, and you can't do that, right? You want to take this time to do some reflection on that and start preparing for what it is that you're going to create, what you're going to build, what you want to manifest. So the question here with reflection, guys, ask yourself this. What are you ready to give birth to? Are there any great and inspiring ideas that you have been holding inside? What is it that you want to contribute to this world? Make a list of all the things you want to accomplish. It's kind of like creating a plan, right? Kind of like that new moon in Capricorn, as I was saying. Structure, discipline, order, organization. Write it out. Have a plan of attack and execute it. Right? The bottom of the deck is remembrance. The frequency of remembrance supports a memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul and body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. I look at this as the Hermit with remembrance. Reminiscing about everything that you've gone through, your life's experiences, your relationships, and seeing what gems you can find with that knowledge to gain that wisdom, right? Because there's always valuable information when you look within and you start to kind of remember certain things, or even going back to when you were a child and the things that you loved to do, creative things. What were you passionate about as a child? We tended to be more creative as children, correct? But once we get older, that gets thrown out the window. And if you look at a lot of professions, there's not much creativity involved in that, is there? Some of us don't really have the ability to actually tap into that feminine energy to create. So this is going back and thinking about, reflecting on the things that you have gone through and everything that you have learned up to now, it has prepared you for the next best thing. So now that you've accumulated all this knowledge throughout these years, if you really look within yourself, you're going to be able to discover what it is that you really want to create, what projects you want to start, how you can go about doing things differently. And this is pretty appropriate because the new year is coming, even though the new year really starts in the spring, and that's what this fertility card talks about, where everything starts to grow, sprout. So this is an excellent time with this new moon. Set the intention about what it is that you want to create, what it is that you want to build. This could even be creating a family with someone, or thinking, you know what, I really want to be by myself. I want to build a family, or I want to revamp a family, or get back to spending time with a family type of thing. It's kind of like, for me, I'm back home, right? And it's kind of like I need my solitude time, but there's also that time with family, you know. So you can utilize all of those experiences, especially the experiences with family. If you reflect on that and you start thinking about the challenges you may have faced with family, the memorable moments that you have experienced with family, and again, start seeking the gems through all those experiences. When you do this, guys, trust me, I've done this before, you're going to have some serious epiphanies and revelations about things you didn't know about yourself and about what you're capable of. So I'm getting an energy of, for some of you, of going back there, especially with regards to your childhood, and start thinking about those things that you absolutely loved, and kind of getting back into that. Okay. So it says, try to get something here from the remembrance card. Am I reading the right one? No, I'm not. There we go. Remembrance is not a linear function of the brain. Instead, it is an elusive and multidimensional aspect of the new human being, a human being that harmonizes the synaptical brain with the wisdom and intuitive thought of the heart and soul. Okay. Our memories are expanding beyond our current lifetime alone. I was talking about the memories. So this is one thing to try with the reflection for this new moon. Take a moment to go inside yourself and contemplate the love in your life. Have you ever been deeply in love? Did I read the wrong one again? See, there's a reason why I'm reading that. Take a moment to go inside and contemplate the idea that you have been around for a very long time and always will be. Are you aware of all the times and places you have been before? Do you have a notion of where you are going? Look intensely at the remembrance image and allow your Akasha to activate the memories of your soul's journey. So what you guys could do, I don't have a meditation for this yet, but maybe I should do one. If you pause this, take a screenshot, and meditate on this image, you're going to start to see stuff that are in your Akashic records. Now, what would be cool is if you actually do what I just asked you to do, or it can't force you, right? If you do what I just suggested you do, and you get an Akashic reading with me, I bet you anything we'll see the same things. For those of you who already had an Akashic reading with me, because I do those, do this exercise. What I just said, meditate on this image here, and see what you can pick up. Okay? That will be, it will confirm what you got in your Akashic Records reading. Okay? I don't know why they wanted me to say that, but they did. So we're going to see what's being activated with this new moon in Capricorn with regards to relationships. So whatever relationship you're thinking about at this time, mother, father, sibling, best friend, coworker, soulmate, counterpart, Whatever. We're going to see what's being activated in that relationship. Wow. Well, right out the gate. Wow. Holy shit balls. I love this. Forgiveness. Please watch my day 9 video if you haven't. I know it's long. Feminine energy. Divine feminines are incredibly patient, and they will sit there for 2 hours to get the gems of knowledge from what I talked about, okay? That video, that reading, it didn't even turn into a reading, it turned into like a discussion. A massive channeling about forgiveness. This new moon, it's activating this. The energy of forgiveness strengthens our capacity to let go of unwanted feelings and emotions. Let it go. Forgiveness is for you. It frees you of your karma. It brings you a state of peace. I don't understand, and I'm going to get like all crazy here. I don't understand how people would prefer to live life in bitterness, anger, and resentment because of what somebody did to you, when you don't really understand the full story as to why they did that. You'd rather be like that, low vibrational, very dark energy, than be happy and content and be at peace. It's not a pleasant feeling to be unforgiving, especially of yourself and especially of other people. Why would you want to live life like that and you get all uptight? Some of you, it affects your health. Some of you, it affects your sleep, whether you want to admit it or not. Some of you, you can't really eat well. You just like, my life is all in shambles and chaos and I feel like shit and I can't get out of bed because of forgiveness. Why would you do that to yourself? When you forgive, you will free yourself of all of that crap. You will have an incredible amount of peace. That's exactly what I have had in my life for years. The amount of peace and tranquility that I have in my life and happiness, even when shit hits the fan, it is ineffable. And I never really valued that about life. Okay? Nobody ever really states, especially as an intention from what I know, because I didn't do it. I'm not saying nobody does it. Nobody ever states something about, I am abundant in peace. I am abundant in tranquility. I am abundant in forgiveness. Maybe that might be an affirmation for you guys to start with this new moon in Capricorn. Because again, I bet you $1 million, for those of you who have a hard time with forgiveness, it's not a pretty picture. You don't feel good. Why would you allow yourself to feel that low just because of that thing? When you can have all the freedom in the world, when you can have all the peace and tranquility in the world. It's possible. This is why I was talking about letting go. Right? And with this remembrance energy about what's activating for just the collective in general, you're remembering things from the past. This could be about you can't forgive yourself for something you did in the past, or you can't forgive somebody who did something to you in the past. Where is the gem of knowledge that you will take with you from those past experiences? Each and every one of us, when people screw us over, we learn a very, very valuable lesson. When people, let's say you had a very rough childhood and you had an unforgiving father, an unforgiving mother, or you were abandoned, you were neglected, you were abused, whatever that is. Think about what you can learn from that experience, as hard as that may be for you to do. But when you look at those people who treated you in whatever way that was. And I did talk about mother here. Okay? I did talk about that. Some of you have a problem forgiving your mother. All right? Do you know the full story about your mother's childhood, her upbringing, her marriage to her husband, if she's married or was married, that relationship, all of her relationships? Now, it doesn't have to just be the mother. Apply it to your situation. Can you really judge that person for how they acted when they probably went through the same thing that they are doing to you? And I talked about in my day 9 video about why we should forgive ourselves and others. I talked about when Christ forgives Judas. Christ already knew. Jesus already knew what was going to happen. He's a prophet. And I said in that video, you're not being sentenced to die here. This person who's betrayed you is not sending you to your death. You may feel like you've died because of it. There's a greater purpose in this. Just like there was a greater purpose when Judas betrayed Jesus. Because Jesus was fulfilling that prophecy. To set the example, the ultimate example of forgiveness for someone who calls him out, what's it called? Yes, he betrays him, but it's turns him in, which led to his crucifixion. And people will say, well, Judas would have done that Jesus wouldn't have been crucified. But what was the purpose in Jesus' crucifixion? It was to fulfill the prophecy. Judas had to betray Jesus so that people could look back on and say, Christ forgave Judas. And I said it in my video. Everyone looks at the Savior forgiving our sins, right? The dying for our sins. Yes, I understand that. But when I've had my conversations with Mary Magdalene, with Jesus, with God, they will always bring to my attention the greater purpose for what Christ came here to do. A big part of it is this. It's not just saving us from our sins. It's not just delivering us from evil. It's part of that, but this is bigger. This is what heals the planet because it stems from divinity. It stems from unconditional love. This is what we need to be doing to help raise the vibration of the planet. So this new moon in Capricorn is really activating this in relationships. And I feel very hopeful with this because it looks like some people are finally going to get it. Because I do know unions are already happening as we speak. We're in this massive wave of them now. More of them are going to come into union before the year is out to 2023. But here's the thing. When your person comes back, they will ask for forgiveness and they will communicate to you certain things about their past. Maybe, maybe not. It depends. Or it's the feminine who will bring back up the past and say, you need to fix this. Why did you do this to me in the past? Why blah, 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 blah. Why are we going there? Why are we going there? What did you learn? Whatever this person did, look. I haven't even gotten to the other cards left. The freaking Divine Masculine card is here, which is why I'm talking about that. And the 4th chakra, it's the heart chakra. Forgiveness frees the heart. And it opens the gateway to everything. It completely clears it. All of that blackness gets removed when you are able to do this. But I'm also getting the masculine's going to be asking for forgiveness for what's happened between the both of you. Now, it doesn't have to be your divine counterpart. It could be anybody with strong masculine energy, right? Father, maybe. or a mother who has had strong masculine energy. Okay? This is an activating the capacity to love very deeply, as Christ did. Like sometimes in my videos I say, I love you with the love of Christ. I know I say that a lot with my member videos, my recordings. It's the love of Christ that's tied into this. When you love someone with the love of Christ, you're able to forgive without question. Again, the energy of forgiveness strengthens our capacity to let go of unwanted feelings and emotions. You do not like feeling guilty, feeling shame, regret, bitterness, anger, resentment, hatred. Those are devil energies. Now you can have anger. Anger can be beneficial, but if it stays in your heart space for a very long period of time, it tends to consume you. It will consume you. Okay? So, let go of the past. Bottom line. This is even forgiving family members here. There's an NSYNC song that has this line in there. I think. A Christmas song about forgiveness in it. I can't remember what it is. Because if you think about it, God forgives us, right? He gives us chance after chance after chance. We're not really deserving of it, but he does. If you want to really look at your life, if God wasn't very forgiving of us, we may all be dead. When you're forgiving someone, you're giving them a second chance. You're showing them Christ consciousness. You're showing them that it's okay to make mistakes, but as you learn from them, as long as you learn from them, then you've gained that wisdom. You've collected your gems. You clear your heart. You free yourself from that pain and that suffering. If you look at the word forgiveness, they're having me break up the words here. For and give. Forgiveness is for you. When you give that person the opportunity to actually see possibly see that they're a child of God, their own divinity. When you look at somebody the way God looks at that person. Because if you're true divine feminine, divine masculine, you're going to be able to look past the past. You're going to be able to look beyond that and see the divinity in them and understand that they're a child of God. And you know that something happened. You may know part of the story, you may not. You will better understand, okay, they must have gone through something in their childhood, in a marriage, whatever, to make them act like this. And I will go back to my own dad. When I interviewed my father about his family members, because I was very curious about what he picked up ancestrally. Sure enough, all of that, stress, anger, impatience, it's been a pattern for centuries. So it's hard-coded into my father's system. And until we learn to break away from that, until we learn, again, remember, it's going back to the past, our soul's experiences, because remember, it's the soul, right? Not as our physical body. Our soul's picking up stuff from our past lives and from our ancestral patterns. So when we're looking at that, you will better understand not only why you act a certain way that you do, or why you don't act a certain way, you will also have a better understanding as to why somebody acts the way that they do. And when you know in your heart of hearts that that's not how that person is, you've got it made, because you were looking at them from a divine place. Hence divine masculine here. This is not distorted. The frequency of the divine masculine supports our active, focused, and strong side, facilitating our capacity to transform our dreams into form. You dream it up. There's feminine energy with the fertility, divine feminine, empress energy. Here's the emperor energy. Divine masculine, create, execute, create, take action, that type of thing. It's back and forth. And with this fourth chakra here, the energy of the heart chakra supports our inner guidance system, which is governed by our heart and the capacity to love deeply. God speaks to the heart, which is when I go back to saying the heart wants what it wants. You want to reconcile. You want to talk to someone. You want to let bygones be bygones. You want to just clear the air. You want to be open with someone. Maybe this is a matter of just telling your family or whatever that you love them or whatever. It can be anything. Again, I forgive you. Christmas season is always kind of that time where we realize what it is that is really of value. Because there are some people in this world who don't have family at all. There are even children out there. It's like Children of the Night, that Richard Marx song. Those kids that have nowhere to go. They don't have families. You guys do. Or maybe you didn't at one point. Maybe you didn't feel like you're part of the family. You didn't feel like you were in a family. Again, go back. If anything, do what I did with my dad. And I haven't interviewed my mother yet, but I know more about my mom's side than my dad's, because I have met more of my mother's side than my father's. It would be fantastic if you guys would just go, if you could, do research about your family or even interview your family members. You're going to start to see some things, those gems of knowledge, and you're going to have these epiphanies, and everything will start coming to light. The bottom of the deck is the second chakra. The energy of the sacral chakra helps us to navigate our lives through our emotions and supports our ability to enjoy the central world. So apparently, with this new moon in Capricorn, it could very well be activating the divine masculine to come forward and ask for forgiveness. Because for some of them, it's been a hard time for them to do because of what's happened in the past, because of what they keep remembering what happened and how they treated the feminine, whatever, right? This was also the time where when the divine masculine comes back to ask for forgiveness, the feminine is going to be forgiving. No questions asked. A true divine feminine Christ will forgive. One who is not embodying and integrating the feminine energy will not forgive, and that's a distorted feminine. If you get triggered by the past still, you still need work to do on your heart space. Because that past, that dark past is still lingering in here. You cannot have union if this is not free and clear of those lower vibrational energies. The capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. That is feminine energy. So there's this energy with the sacral chakra. I'm getting like this strong sexual energy that is fueling the masculine to take action, to go forth. And we talked about, again, the fertility. What's being acted in the collective invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. The grander expression of ourselves. Something's going to bring a smile to your face. Could very well be this new moon will activate this divine masculine to finally come forward, because this is what has been holding him back. It's been an insecurity. Insecurity of thinking, is the feminine going to forgive me? Because one of the key things in order for permanent union to happen is this. Both of you have to forgive each other. And you should have already forgiven yourselves if this masculine is coming forward to ask you for this. And I will say it again. You need to have a clear Anahata, 4th chakra. Your heart space has to be clear. It has to be flowing with the divine love of God. It has to be pouring out of you. It's a cycle. All you've got in your soul, in your body, in your mind, in your heart space is forgiveness and agape love, which is unconditional love. The union will not work. It will not occur if this isn't given by both parties. Period. True love does not come to those who cannot forgive. I'm going to flat out say it because it's exactly what I have been told during meditation, with my talks with God, with Mary Magdalene, with Christ. This is the kicker here. This is also the kicker for other people. If you're not in a divine counterpart connection, there's somebody here, for some of you, you still need to forgive. It might even be yourself. And you will know when you feel that thought comes into your head, I'm not forgiving that person. If you just said that, guess what? You need some heart healing to do. Because you've already started to come from a low vibrational place. That's distorted energy. And you're wondering why you want to feel better about it and you want to get out of this dark energy, this dank energy. It's because you still have a hard time forgiving. Watch the miracles that occur when you learn how to do this. And this new moon is starting to activate that. And again, with the divine masculine collective, with that strong sacral chakra, it's like my sacral chakra is on fire. It's not lust that I'm getting. It is passion here. Sensuality. It's like the feminines who are in their full power, they are inspiring the masculines to tap into their sensual side, their feminine side, their sexual side as well, but not looking at the sexual side as physical, right? Or again, a place from lust here. There's more spiritual with this than anything. It's actually opening up the divine masculine collective's heart space here. To be able to have them love deeply, the capacity to love deeply and unconditionally without judgment. I wanted me to read something in this book. Forgiveness in relationship. In order to release anything, we first must contain it. We cannot let go of anything that we don't already hold on to. This might mean that in order to forgive, we go through the uncomfortable process of connecting to the feelings that we want to let go. Our capacity to feel compassion for another is key to our ability to forgive them. When we can look at our lives from an expanded point of view, we enter into witness mode. Seeing this bigger picture helps us to grasp the dynamics of circumstances, relations, and interactions while taking into consideration the maturity, wisdom, and consciousness of everyone involved. Carrying around resentment, anger, or pain will take a toll on our well-being sooner or later, whether those feelings are about someone else or the guilt and shame we might feel about something we have done ourselves. Sometimes we are the most important ones that we need to forgive. In witness mode, we find the compassion that is needed to forgive. That's energy of the feminine, divine feminine. Whether this involves forgiving another for something that has hurt us, or forgiving ourselves for hurting another, or for allowing someone to hurt us. From an expanded perspective, we could realize that behind almost all hurtful behaviors are unresolved issues and deeply buried pain, often conscientiously held. Sadly, if we don't deal with our own inner conflicts and issues, the cycle continues, and we end up hurting each other because we are hurting ourselves. We're still hurt ourselves. Hurt energy in the heart chakra doesn't bring abundance. It doesn't bring true love. It doesn't bring peace. We're meant to live on this planet in peace. And this forgiveness stuff is just really tearing us down. The cycle continues. The karmic cycle of not being able to forgive continues. The wheel of fortune goes in the opposite direction until you learn to forgive. Forgiving is a deeply personal, individual process. No one can do it for us. No one but us earns the reward of true forgiveness either. But forgiveness from the heart can spark a profound sense of freedom and liberation, which can be deeply transformative, giving rise to new growth. Contemplate the people in your life for whom you hold feelings of resentment or anger. How long have you had these feelings? Has it served you to carry these feelings? Or are you ready to let go of them and forgive? If not, what is holding you back? You already know that for some of you, insecurities are holding you back. Is it easy for you to forgive? How do you go about this? Do you have a ritual? Do you share your feelings with the person you need to forgive? Do you think it's possible to forgive a little, or is it something you either do completely or not at all? Do you feel it is important to forgive? Do you forgive always? I just heard there are some of you here, because this is a new moon in Capricorn reading. Some of you need to forgive yourselves for focusing on work all the time and not on family. Some of you are being asked to reflect on this and change the game. Make sure you put family first. A new cycle starting for your child or children, or you're putting work ahead of your kids. Or maybe you did this. You put work ahead of your kids, ahead of your family, ahead of everything. For some of you, that overworking energy has led to depression, has led to drinking, it's led to substance abuse, it's led to addictive behavior, it's led to high stress levels, it's led to blood pressure rising, maybe even cancer, hence the cancer card, but you know cancer, the illness. Some of you, it's led to certain things. So for another group of you, what I just heard is you're trying to forgive yourself for being too Capricornian. Remember, there's a dark side and a divine side to everything. Every person, every zodiac sign, everything. There's got to be a balance. There's no light without dark. So some of you may have been focused too much on your career, not having time for family. Maybe somebody lost a family member and you're kind of beside yourself because you were working and working and working and working, and then next thing you know, your person passes away and you're like, oh my God, my father's gone, my mother's gone, my brother's gone, my sister's gone, my grandmother's gone. And I was tunnel visioned on work. That is for some of you here. Okay? That's for some of you here. Woo. Okay. Hold on. They said, Jess, you need to do tarot. Alrighty. What else, Holy Spirit, do you want this collective to know about this new moon in Capricorn? What else do we need to know about this new moon? Anything else that we need to reflect on? Any other insight into this, please? compassion is a big thing. That's what Jesus Christ was an example of. It's like I talked about in my day 9 reading, discussion, whatever you want to call it, with the leper. The disciples like, oh no, get away. Everyone's like, get away from the lepers. Evil, this, and that. No, don't touch them. Jesus didn't care. Okay, I just got another hit. Some of you, this is also stemming something from the whole COVID thing. You guys know how to spell. You may have judged someone because either they didn't get the pokey or because maybe they got sick and they gave it to you, or something with the CVID. All right, we all know what this is. And your masculine energy, maybe it was your distorted masculine energy or some distortion, kind of you judged them for that. You pushed them away. You were like, oh, you don't have the pokey thing. You know what it is. I don't know why I say pokey. You don't have the thing, so you can't stay here, or I can't talk to you, or, you know, whatever. It can even be differences on the whole, what do you want to call it? Judgment's at the bottom of the deck. What the hell did I just... Judging. Don't judge. Yourself or others. Something about judging somebody because they had it, or they didn't get it, or they got it and they didn't get as sick as you did. There's a whole bunch of stuff because I'm getting the CVID thing for whatever reason. And this ties into the work thing. This was work related. Oh, well, I go to work and everybody has it and I don't want to run the risk, and something along those lines. But again, there's a death of a family member, but it's stemming something from work. Okay? So it looks like this new moon is starting to activate. Some of you are really doing some retrospection, serious retrospection here, with regards to what you did in the past that you know you shouldn't have done. You knew you needed to change something about yourself and you didn't do it. And some of you are having a hard time forgiving yourselves for that. And this does tie into somebody who's very, very work-oriented. Holy shit, I am seeing all of these people standing next to each other who this is pertaining to. Oh my God, the line's getting longer. But look, it may sound like I'm coming down hard on you, but I'm not. If you have watched me well enough, I'm a very passionate person about this stuff, especially this. If you didn't watch my day 9 reading, I cry in it. I'm so passionate about it. See? It makes me emotional. Because for me, I just don't get it. I must have come from some other planet. Because I don't get why people don't understand this. You have no idea what type of life you could have if you understand what forgiveness can do for you, what it can do for the other person. Because it goes to show the person, well, they're not judging me. We have no right to judge anybody. Judgment was at the bottom of the deck. There's 8 of Wands to communication. Because again, you don't know. You don't know what that person was going through. Nobody knows the full story. No one. So there's no need to judge. So some of you, the forgiveness stems from judging the person or judging yourself. Take it how it fits your story. But what else do we need to know with this new moon in Capricorn? Well, here's the reconciliation card right here, did I not call it? With the King of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Somebody's masculine might be a water sign. Did I say Six of Wands? Tower. Four of Cups. Look at all these cards. Two of Swords. Justice. Doing the right thing. The truth. Page of Wands. Page of Coins. Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Communication. Honesty, trustworthiness, loyalty. Apologies. For some of you, this is something new to do because there's an insecurity here that's been holding you back from communicating with these people. Some of you are being asked to have the courage. We already talked about that fertility card. Have the courage. Be optimistic. And when you come forth and you apologize, that it will work out in your favor because luck is on your side. Listen to me when I tell you this. I just got this very loud and clear. God specifically said, if you are doing the righteous and just thing, by forgiving somebody, by asking for forgiveness, or it's not just about the apology. It's just saying, you know what, I was wrong, or this is what was happening. It's clarity, it's truth, it's honest communication. Having the self-esteem, just like, you know what, I've been through a lot of battles and challenges, but look how far I've come. Somebody has gone through a lot of shit. Again, Five of Wands is when people are going through battles you don't know anything about. Hence, we cannot judge people for what they do to us. Nor can we judge ourselves when we make mistakes, when we go through all these things and struggles. The Five of Wands is the spiritual combat training. It's helping us to level up. Without these challenges, without these difficulties, we can't grow. We can't learn. We can't evolve. We become complacent, and there's no evolution. If the whole world wouldn't have gone through all the challenges, do you think we'd be where we are today? Yes, it presents more challenges and more difficulties. But we're so much better off than we were in, I don't know, the 15th century. Just pick a century. This stuff makes us stronger and makes us wiser. When I go back to the whole gems of knowledge there. Everything from the past was to prepare us for our future. If we can't learn from that, we can't grow. We will continue to make the same damn mistakes. That's just how it works. But there is strong energy of reconciliation here. Because the Six of Cups was the first card to come out. Reunions are happening. These masculines are going to come back and say, hey, they're going to muster up that courage. They're ready, getting themselves ready. They're restless because I'm getting goosebumps. Some of them know about the astrology or what the new moon in Capricorn is doing. I'm getting somebody who's waiting for the right time. I'm seeing, oh my God, I'm seeing Three of Wands. Excuse me. I'm seeing Three of Wands because here's the victory. Here's the success. Luck is on your side. Somebody here, some of you feminines may not know this, but I'm getting very strongly, some masculines have been following some astrologer, or they've been following the astrology, learning about astrology, to see when is the opportune time to come forward with communication and asking for forgiveness and explaining themselves. Holy shit. Hallelujah. Holy shit. Justice will be restored. It's not just with the masculines. For whoever else this is for, it's a mother, it's a father, it's somebody that you know. When I say the word forgiveness and you cringe, oh, no, hell, no fucking way. Well, guess what? The universe is going to come in and kind of put you in the situation to do it. Because the tower is here. This is God coming in to fix this. God is the one who brings in the justice. We should not be the ones to go seeking vindication. Like I said before, this is not about, well, they fucked me over and, well, they got to get their karma and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, I want my justice because they need to apologize. Otherwise, I'm not going to forgive them. Newsflash. If you are thinking this, you are not a divine feminine, period. You are not coming from a place of Christ consciousness if you feel you need to get your justice through an apology. If you feel you have the need to forgive someone if they apologize first, that is not how it works. Because if you can't forgive somebody, that means you haven't forgiven yourself for allowing the person to hurt you. And that is a big eye-opener for some of you. So some of you need to really get a better understanding of what forgiveness is, and apologies don't cut it, in the sense where you do not need to receive an apology to forgive someone. You forgive for you. You forgive regardless of whether you get the communication, regardless of whether they apologize. You are not the one to seek vindication. You are not the one to seek justice. There's no eye for an eye here. God is the only judge. He's the only one who brings this between two people when the time is right. And God's doing it with this new moon in Capricorn, because here's divine intervention. There is going to be a sudden change in relationships of all forms, especially with the counterparts here. Because this energy is activating, again, the relationships, the sacral chakra. Navigate our lives through our emotions. Sacral chakra is also creativity. Finding a creative way to come forward and communicate and talk about what went wrong, maybe, or talk about, you know what, I know this, and that. Let me explain myself. This is what was going on. Whatever. And remember, when you're on the receiving end of this, you did some stuff too that was distorted. You cannot throw that out of the equation. Right? I know for me, I kept getting hurt by my person because I was being the distorted feminine and allowing it to happen. The cycle repeating. And God told me, Jess, stop doing that, please. And I didn't listen. And everything that I did, I felt like an idiot, a big-ass idiot. Why the hell did I keep doing that? Lessons, guys. Lessons. Where you know when something like that starts, you nip it in the bud and you don't make the same mistakes again. Your integrity is everything. And so for me, I was part of the hurt too. Because if you're putting all the blame on your person, on whoever it is that you can't forgive, it takes two to tango. Two, dos, not one. When you get hurt by somebody, there's somebody else involved. There's two of you. So if you enable the behavior, think about that for a second. So some of you are not realizing you can't forgive because you feel like a dumbass for allowing that person to hurt you when you probably knew your heart, your intuition, your inner guidance GPS system was already telling you to move away from that situation. Or you allowed it to fester in your heart. You allowed it to consume you without dealing with it firsthand. Somebody here has really mastered this in their emotions. There's a lot of deep love for you. But now what they're doing, what's more important here is heart chakra healing for a masculine. You see how amazing this shit works? Why they had me pull these cards? There's a divine masculine here who's completely healed their heart chakra. And that's for those the feminines who've cleared their heart chakra. There's a victory here. They've come a long way. They're a lot more confident in how they feel about you, especially a lot more confident with their emotions and their intuition. Because I talked about the heart wants what it wants. And this King of Cups has been wanting the feminine, has been wanting something, wanting to communicate, wanting to forgive, for whatever. Wanting a relationship, a family, whatever. But he's kept it in for a long time. He doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve. So what this masculine is learning now is to muster up the courage and confidence to move forward. I'm not going to be battling those demons anymore by holding my emotions in, by suppressing them, by withdrawing from what I feel. I'm going to stop battling myself because I don't want to be loved. I don't want to feel the love again. I don't want to be burned. I don't want to be this. I don't want to be that. I don't want to hurt again. But what does that do to the masculine? It makes them more distorted. The suppression of feminine energy leads to anger, bitterness, resentment, all of these dark things, depression, substance abuse, whatever. And now this masculine has really learned to be in tune with her emotions and to not be afraid of them. There's also something about tapping into their strong feminine energy because water is feminine energy. A major milestone is going to be met now with this new moon in Capricorn. Because now this masculine here is getting ready to open their heart up to the feminine. Or this could be you. You're having more compassion for someone and you want to talk to them and apologize. Hey, I'm sorry for this, this, and this, and that. Now, if you're dealing with a loved one who's passed on already, this exercise can be for yourself. You just having compassion for yourself, for that person, whatever. Right? It's that renewal here. It's that innocence. It's that release of the past, the memories. And look, it's right underneath the remembrance card. I placed it involuntarily here. Reconciling your past too. Not just reconciling with a person. And when you look at this card here, they have a house. There's probably food and water. There's a stove going on or whatever. The children look happy. All is well in this card. Which is telling me that this is also someone coming back from your past, okay? Someone who just couldn't tell you how they felt. Someone who wasn't tapped into their feminine energy. The emotions, right? Explaining how they feel. But these kids are fine. Again, this is saying this reconciliation is going to work in your favor, as what all these other cards talked about. Okay? But there is someone returning from your past. They are going to apologize. But if some of you who are looking for a divine union, you will get the union when you've forgiven your masculine before they come to you for the apology. Now, it could also be the masculine comes to talk to you, to be honest about their feelings, be honest about what happened between the two of you. They're like, this is forgiveness right here for what was done in the past. Let's let bygones be bygones here. Let's just go back to this place of innocence. Because again, nobody has it in their agenda to screw somebody over. It's not from a place of God. It's programming, okay? So, if this person comes to you and you haven't forgiven them yet, this is going to be make or break for you. It could be the tower of all towers, meaning it could go down south real fast, or it's going to dramatically change the dynamic in your connection with your person. But there is strong energy of just, again, luck is on your side. It's going to work out. Something exciting is happening. It's going to work out. So somebody here is overcoming these battles of suppressing their emotions, of not sharing how they feel, of not allowing themselves to be vulnerable, of not allowing themselves to tap into their feminine side, especially if they're masculine. And I did say, masculines have a different love language with communication, especially with communicating love, how they feel. King of Cups for me always has a different love language. Through song, through creative endeavors. The feminines need to understand they do not need literal words for this masculine to tell you how they feel. This even with some other people. Could be a parent, sibling, whatever other family member, somebody. And that's for that person who has a hard time telling how they feel, expressing how they feel, to work on that. Somebody wasn't trusting their intuition for quite some time. And God's kind of like, I had enough of this. I just heard it. I've had enough of this. We've got like two majors here with the Justice and the Tower. God's coming in. It's like the Almighty coming in to bring balance to a connection here, a situation. There is also another flip side to this. God will cause a massive tower moment for those who won't forgive this person when they come back around. Because he's being serious. God is being very serious about this when this person comes forward. I said it's make or break time. Either God's going to pull the rug from underneath you and put you back on the path, or this person comes around and you forgive them and there's a true reunion, reconciliation here. You let the past stay in the past and you forgive each other for everything. You will have that union. The permanent one. But everybody's got to come clean. Everybody's got to be in their integrity. Everyone's got to be speaking the truth and nothing but when this person comes around. No second guessing, no hesitating, no avoiding the truth and putting your head in the sand and pretending I didn't do anything wrong. I will admit, in my situation with my masculine, I know I'm going to have to be in my full truth and nothing but too, because I know I didn't do some nice things. My name is on both of these lists, okay? And I'm going to call it out. All of you watching this, your name is on both of these lists. Both of them. So don't come back here and say, oh, well, I didn't do anything wrong. What does my masculine need to forgive me for? Think about it. Because I'm going to be completely vulnerable here, because I wasn't always fully myself, my true authentic self, whenever I was around my person. Or when we had conversations. And I know when the time comes, that is going to be my ultimate test here. If I'm actually going to confess. If I'm actually going to say, yeah, you know what, I said this and it really wasn't true. But it happens. Again, the forgiveness here. God wants everybody to be honest here. I mean, honest. Truth is love. Truth is of the divine. But there's the thing. We talk about things. Yeah, I wasn't honest. Yeah, I'm sorry for this. Yeah, this, and that. But then you still come from a place of that innocence. Because if you think about children, children are very forgiving. Most of them are. They forget what happened. Kid gets grounded, right? They get a toy taken away. Later on, oh, love you, Mom. They're still all their happy-go-lucky selves. You know, now I'm saying for those of you who had childhoods that weren't super traumatic, but you get what I'm saying. They have this playfulness to them. They forgive more easily than adults do. That's something to be said. That's something to really look into. Not look into, that's something to really reflect on. So, can't put your head in the sand. But this person, the masculine here, for some of you, or somebody here is coming in to do the right thing. They had a huge, massive revelation about something. About the connection, about you, about themselves, about, yeah, the connection, past life. Oh, I'm remembering who my person is. This is my feminine. This is my person. It's like some huge, massive epiphany. There's also a huge change in direction for this person. There's Libra here. Tower is kind of Mars energy for me. Mars is in retrograde. Mars is retrograde in Gemini. That Mars in Gemini could be fueling that sacral chakra for the masculines. Because they did some reflection. Maybe there was a reflection on, oh, I thought this was coming from, like, it's a lustful connection. Now, some of them probably turned away from it because they didn't want to lust after their feminine anymore. They kind of confused the passion with the lust when the passion was really stemming from, like, sacredness. So this individual here probably had a huge revelation about that, about the chemistry, about the passion, about the connection here, the strong connection. That this love is eternal is what I'm hearing. So now this person's coming in to do the right thing, speaking their truth. They got to bring balance to the scales, but God is the one who's telling the masculine to do this. They are supporting the masculine in doing this. They're supporting somebody. Again, if you're not in one of these connections, take it how it sees fit for you. God is supporting this with these major arcana here. Okay? Because somebody had a blocked throat chakra. Someone had a very hard time communicating the truth here. And it stems from childhood. Because, as I said, there was some parent or a mother or father or whatever, somebody in the family who actually told this person not to talk, not to speak up, not to express how they feel, especially if they were a little boy. Especially. Now, I'm not knocking on those who are female here. Again, this is, they want me to say what I want to say, what I need to say here. Because a lot of you feminines, your masculines are male. There's something about somebody's father being a counselor or something like that. Spiritual counselor, whatever. Or mother, or both. It's like this masculine is very, very psychic too. Very, 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 very loving. This is the capacity to love deeply. But what's happened here is this masculine was so traumatized that they just kept that love in. It's like they locked it up or they put Fort Knox around it. But that did them damage. And it stems from something traumatic in their childhood. Something in their past caused them to lock up. As I said. They lost someone. They lost something that they cared for so deeply. They had a tower moment in their childhood. It just shook their foundation. It shook their world. It was like, what was that? Why did that happen? And this person couldn't come back from that. And this person wanted to tell you. But they got hung up in their head about it. They knew they needed to make a decision, but they didn't make a decision out of fear because they were afraid the truth was going to ruin something. Ruin the connection. This person has had insecurities about speaking their truth. Probably about their past, their childhood, their family. About how their family is. Maybe they had strict religious beliefs, or their family doesn't like what the feminine is doing, or their family has these preconceived notions about who they should marry, or whatever, whatever. But again, the heart wants what it wants, and this person needs to go out and follow what the heart wants. See, avoiding the truth. They were avoiding. No, I don't need love. No, I don't want this cup. I've had love before, and it sucked. I was burned. It didn't work out right. It wasn't magical. I'm like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this. I don't want this blessing. That could be what this person is going to talk to you about. Everything that I just said. No. I don't want to be loving it. I don't want this. I don't want this blessing. Here's the revelation. It's like Bella coming into Beast's castle, and the Beast is like, everyone's like, she's the one to break the spell. And the Beast is like, I have to have control. This is my castle. Whatever, whatever. And what happens? He has a tower moment. And realized that she was a massive blessing because she was the one to break the spell. But what he didn't realize was that love and compassion that she had for him was going to help break the spell. He had to be the one to change. The spell wasn't going to change him. He had to be the one to change. He had to be the one to have that love. Because he didn't have love in his heart. He had bitterness, anger, and resentment. And look what he created for himself. That dark castle. He was just unhappy for so many years. For what? Because his inside, as that prince transformed to his outside, his ugliness on the inside came out. And his environment became what he was vibrating at. What he was operating as. I highly doubt any of you with bitterness, anger, and resentment want to be living in a deep, dark, dank, unhappy castle. Right? You have a choice. And it's your choice to make. So this person had Bella come into the castle and was like, nah, that's not, it's going to be like everybody else. It's going to be all like the other relationships. It's going to be like that last marriage. It's going to be like something was triggering them from their past. No, I don't want it. Avoiding the situation. Avoiding the truth of the situation. That it was a blessing and they were just like, nah. I'm getting introvert energy with this. No, I'm like a homebody. No. My life hasn't been magical, so why is it going to be magical now? But look what Belle did. She changed everything. But what she did was that she had that compassion and unconditional love for the beast, because she innately knew what was going on. It's not really said in the story, but she knew. So this person had a huge revelation. Oh shit. I need to be grateful because I was able to forgive myself, other people without judgment. I was able to tap into my feminine energy. I was able to be more open. I was able to express my emotions now. I was able to master my intuition, trust my heart, and follow it without question. This is, through pain and suffering comes great wisdom, purpose in the pain. A feminine here has taught this masculine a lot of lessons, and this feminine has learned a lot of lessons from their masculine too. So this person's mustering up the courage to tell you, yeah, you know what, I was avoiding talking to you because I didn't want you. Well, they did, but they didn't. I didn't want to be in love. I didn't want another relationship. Or they were so disappointed in love and relationships, disappointed in life in general, they didn't think that you were going to be, you weren't going to change anything. Making the dark castle the gleaming palace. When the feminine was the one who was going to make it a gleaming palace the whole time. This person was also hesitant to reach out initially because they thought that they missed out on an opportunity because they didn't take it before. They're also kind of in their head, or they were in their head, that when they make the offer to you, that you're going to be like, no, thanks. That ship has sailed. Now I can't tell you what to do. If you're the one who's saying it's too late, ship has sailed, I've said this time and time again. This person came into your life to change you. And you to change them. To get you to understand what unconditional love is, compassion, forgiveness, all this stuff. So you can be an example of Christ consciousness. So you can erase all of that dark stuff in your heart chakra. So you can free yourself of your karma. So you can have the ultimate love that hardly anybody gets this lifetime. It's the Ace of Cups. Not everybody on this planet gets the Ace of Cups type of love. It's the agape. It's the higher love. It's the true love. Cannot have true love without forgiveness in it. Forgiveness is in this cup. It's always going to be in this cup. Because even when your person, you come into union, whatever, they do something that's like, kind of like of their past behavior, you won't get triggered. You will even better understand why that person's acting the way that they are. Because there's still kind of sort of, there's been a lot of childhood healing here, but there might be some things that might surface from that may repeat itself. So this person's really trying to get out of their head that you are going to be disappointed with their offer. You're going to not take the offer. You are not going to be receptive to their apology, to what they want to say to you. I'm hearing, hear me out. But this person has really changed quite a bit. Quite a bit. From self-sabotaging, from berating themselves, beating themselves up. Why the hell did I not take this opportunity? Why the hell did I treat this person this way? Blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying blah because I'm kind of insulting this person. I'm saying that because there's more to this story than meets the eye. And it stems a lot from some childhood trauma here. And this person didn't realize this. That their past was affecting their future. It was haunting their relationships. It was affecting their relationships with family, friends, everybody, coworkers. They were acting one way, but deep down inside they were acting a complete opposite. It's more like Four of Cups, because this is depression. And when the masculine energy suppresses the feminine, suppresses their emotions, that is when they fall into a deep abyss of depression. Just lackluster energy. Nothing is working out. Luck is not on my side. Like, life sucks. This is the life sucks card. Why am I even going to bother? I'm just going to live my life the way it is because I can't do anything about it. That is bullshit. So apparently, this person, he's like, son of a bitch. That is not true. God came in to wake somebody up, like the fire underneath their ass, and say, dude, you can make something magical in your life if you just take the opportunity that I'm giving you. If you take the cup, watch how your life changes. And this masculine is like, holy shit, you're right. It's the fucking Beauty and the Beast story. That's why it's my favorite story of all time, because of the freaking message in that damn thing. I should watch it again. Maybe I'll watch it on the plane. I mean, when I talk about epiphanies, massive epiphanies. But massive changes. Sudden, drastic changes. This person's totally changed their mind about coming forward to the feminine. Because now he has a lot more confidence in himself, self-esteem. He's like, you know what? I need to be optimistic. I need to be positive. This is going to be success. If I have that in my mindset, it's going to work out. And masculines who are watching this, look. God's got your back because you were doing the right thing. Standing in your integrity and speaking your truth. When you speak your truth and you just talk to the person, all will work out in your favor. And we've already seen this because you're coming from divine place. You're coming from unconditional love. You're coming from the mentality of being righteous and just, which is what God wants us to do. So masculines who are watching this, it is going to work out. Now for the feminines, you need to understand that those of you who not have already forgiven your person yet, you've got to understand that this, how they treated you, stemmed from their past. And you cannot judge someone based on their past. Okay? You weren't necessarily all nice and innocent either. I'm going to call it out. You've got to be completely honest with yourself and your situation. Because you were hurt too when you met this person, so your hurt projected onto them, but in a different way. But these masculines here, they've done some major leveling up. There's a huge, huge milestone that's being met with regards to stopping the berating, belittling themselves, continuing themselves to allowing themselves to continue to be in a world of chaos, of hostilities, of challenges, of conflicts, of arguments and fighting and being defensive, or whatever this is. All the struggles and challenges of life, they've overcome. They're on top of the world now. Because they see it clearly now. They've learned a lot from you, feminines, and you've learned a lot from your masculine. So now this new moon and everything I talked about, Mercury's shadow. Excuse me. What the hell was that? Sacral. That fire energy, creativity, the sexuality here. They're actually transmuting that into action because there is a lot of passion for the feminine here. This could also be somebody's traveling to see you to give you this message. They've done a lot of work on themselves. And for the feminines who've done a lot of work on yourself, this is why this masculine's coming in now. So expect communication. Expect honest communication coming forth from the masculines. And the masculines who are watching this, you gotta go in this with faith. You've already been mustering up the courage for quite some time to do this. Because I know this is not easy for you. It's not. You've dealt with a lot of struggles and challenges for quite some time. But you feel different now. You know that it's not too late, because you know that God is the one. God is the one who determines whether it's late or not. God is the one who's going to determine when this person will come back, when this person is ready to communicate. God had to spend a lot of time on this masculine for them to get to this point. And nobody watching this has any say in that time frame, because God is here. It's divine intervention. God is here too. As I say, he's the one who's going to balance out the scales. God's the one who's going to send the masculine to do it. God's the one who's going to bring justice, restore justice to a situation. That's not up to us at all. So, some of you have been wishing for this. You've been hoping for this. Those of you who are in a high vibrational state, you're attracting this person to come in to communicate. This person is also going to tell you about how you're their wish fulfillment. They got to keep their eye on the prize and be like, you know, my feminines, this person is my fulfillment. I need to keep going with this. This is a goal of mine, to come forward to the feminine to express how I feel, but also talk about what happened. To tell them the truth. There's also an energy here about giving you the honest to God truth about how they just wanted to be happily single. They were filling their own cups. There could also be selfishness with this. Oh, I was only caring about my well-being, not anybody else's. That could be the truth too. Let me tell you. If any of this is triggering you, oh, that's what they're saying. Oh, that's what they come to be. If you don't already know, you're not ready yet. You still got some heart chakra healing to do. Okay? I could very well tell you, could be a drinking problem. Drinking problem. King of Cups. Six of Cups. There's something about a father and a child. Some of you, your masculines, have children or a child. That could have also been a little bit of an insecurity or a little bit of hesitation because they weren't sure how life was going to be like. Again, with that, you and your loved ones are safe, right? See, when I talked about there's something new starting for your child, there is a masculine here, or some masculines here who have children. They were a little bit concerned about, especially if they were married before, how their mother would react to a new relationship. The masculine was a little worried about the child's well-being, and there's nothing wrong with that. I know I have a son who's 13. I'm not just gonna, since I'm divorced, and if I get married again, when I get married again, I'm not just gonna have anybody. Right? That's why God's like, don't be dating, don't do anything. You just wait. Not wait, but wait. Not wait, but wait for your divine masculine to come back around. Because that's my kingdom spouse. That is the one that God created for me. So, but I wouldn't want just anybody, any other dude to be in my life when I've got my son who still interacts with his dad. Right? And I know that's a big thing for me too. So we have to be respectful of these masculines who have children. Because for some, their children or child is everything to them. They love their child with this very deep love. It's insane. Some of these fathers, like, they're very, very giving and very, very compassionate and very, very loving towards their kids. I mean, they think the world of their kids. And I know for my masculine's a Pisces. I mean, hence the water here. But I've seen his relationship with his son just from afar. I've never met his son. There was one time I got close, but it didn't happen because I'm pretty sure God was like, no, we're not ready yet. But I see and I can feel it from him. It's not just seeing in pictures or how he talks about his kid, or when he used to talk about his kid. I could feel it from him. And I remember him showing me pictures one time when I was over his house, and the love that was coming out of that photograph, right? Memories. I never felt so much deep love and emotion from a photograph in my life. And I've seen other photos of him and his kid before that he has shown me. And it's like, it's King of Cups energy pouring out of those images. No knock on any other father. I've never seen a father love a child as much as I've seen my masculine love a child. That is huge for me. When someone has that much profound love for their kids, it says a lot about the person. So I'm saying this because I knew for me, from experience, my masculine was very, and he told me this one time. When we went out to eat, we were at a Mexican restaurant because we tended to go to Mexican restaurants when we used to hang out with each other. He mentioned something. He was worried about the next partner he would have in his life because of his son. And that's admirable because he's caring about his son. Which is why, for me, I'm not just going to be dating random people and not be putting my son first. You know? Sure, there's me. I put myself first, right? But taking into consideration my son, too. Because we're like a unit. Right? If somebody doesn't ask about my son, if somebody doesn't talk about my son or anything like that, or whatever, my son's not in the picture when I'm conversing with a male or something, like if I'm dating or something like that, X, big X on their forehead. Because it's a package deal. And I know for my masculine, his relationship with his son is very important, and I respect that wholeheartedly. But the fact that he has that much love, and he also has a lot of love for children is what I feel, which is also very, I love that about him. The compassion that he has, I would see it. And then when it came to our relationship, and I knew he was holding back and stuff like that, I knew that wasn't who he was. He had a hard time with being that strong Pisces, with not only being intuitive, but loving very, very hard, very deeply. Right? Which is what this heart chakra card says. So some of your masculines are the same, if you're watching this. Because some of your masculines are similar to mine. So the thing with the children here, you've got to have respect, because they wanted to make sure, especially with you, that it was going to work out. Especially when you blend families, especially when there are other kids in the picture, right? I bet you anything, your masculine, if he has been divorced before, or, has what they call a baby mama, there's another mother in the picture, the relationship was broken up, obviously, because there are single dads here. They don't want to go through that again. Because, again, the kid was involved in that. They don't want their child to be exposed to relationships where they're always breaking up. There's an energy of the child tends to get attached to the masculine's partner, or whatever, if they've dated other people. And then they would be with that person for a while, and then the masculine would break up with that person, and the child's like, what just happened, type of thing. Because the child starts to see continuous breakups or something, so then the child starts like, well, is that what love is? Is that how relationships are like? You see what I'm getting at? Anyway, this masculine here is, he's really realizing a lot of things about himself, his kids, his relationships, his family, everything. But because you and your loved ones are safe, when the masculine, those masculines who are watching this, when you communicate with your feminine, look, here's the Empress, backed by the Ten of Pentacles. There's the marriage right there. This is happening very fast. This marriage, this union. This Empress is attracting way more than the masculine coming in. For the masculines watching this, this is to reassure you that whatever children you have, because there's strong energy of marriage here too, right? Maybe getting married by the justice of the peace initially. That this feminine here is, for some, it's the actual divine feminine Christ. And you, masculines, would already know that because your heart has told you that this is a true divine feminine. Okay? Trust your intuition. You've mastered it. This is just confirming for the masculines watching this that your Empress, your person, your counterpart is a true divine feminine Christ. Okay? Meaning that she will make the house a home. That's what an Empress does. She will not judge your kid, judge your past, judge you. She won't even be bothered by the kid's mother. Okay? All these other things. Your child is safe with your feminine. It is a new start for your child. I know for me it would be a new start for my child. But if God is bringing all this together, it is going to be harmonious. It is going to be fruitful. It is going to be joyous with this Nine of Cups. I tell you, like my guides, of course, they're going to come out with how many cards now? My guides are laughing at me. They're like, don't do it, Jess. I have to count, Holy Spirit. I have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. 8 is abundance. See, it's abundance here. They wanted me to get all that from this, but expect communication when you least expect it. It's a ripe time, it's a right moment, but I do get a strong feeling that some of the masculines here have been watching astrology or following somebody who does astrology to see when is the best time to come forward or negotiations are easier. Libra energy. Libra energy. You have to forgive me because I do not know what might be in Libra at the time of the new moon in Capricorn. So maybe you need to check your Libra placements too. What final guidance do we have for this collective? Courage and confidence, the solar plexus chakra. It is safe for you to be powerful and take charge of your life in positive ways. And those of you who are not in these connections, because I know I was talking about the divine masculine, divine feminine, but because that's who I'm here to help with mainly as part of my mission. Again, the others of you, you know you need to come forward with communicating, apologizing to somebody, asking for forgiveness. It's safe for you to do this. Muster up the courage and confidence, that personal power. It's there, all right? Past life issue. The situation has a basis in one of your previous lifetimes. Ask your angels to help you remember, release, learn, and heal from your past experiences. That is what I was talking about. A lot of you, you've got past life trauma coming into things that you tend to repeat. There's chakra healing you got to do, ancestral pattern healing, relationship healing. I offer all of those to include your Akashic Record stuff, which is why I said the Akashic Records before. And this is part of the remembrance card as well. 6 of Cups. I said past life stuff is interfering in this too. It's coming up again. Power animal. Your animal spirit guide is a guardian to you and is helping you with this situation. Whatever, maybe it's a favorite animal of yours, whatever animal you keep seeing around, that's your power animal. Maybe you already know what your power animal is. Base chakra. Choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, career, and finances as your words determine your outcome. What did I say about what you say out loud? Your words. Your words determine your outcome. Positive thoughts. I talked about let go of the scarcity mindset, right? Some of you need to do some root chakra healing. I talked about chakra healing already. The gold box. Write any worries, concerns, or desires on a piece of paper that you put into a special container called a God box. I'm sorry, it's a God box, not a gold box. As a way of letting go and allowing the divine to help you. This is going to be an excellent exercise for you guys to do during the new moon. Also write a gratitude journal because there is a lack of that here for some of you. Be grateful for those blessings, even the ones that you think are not blessings. Be grateful for what you have instead of what you don't have. And be grateful for the problems you don't have. Positive thoughts, okay? So we've got quite a few things here. As your final guidance, vacuum away fear. Call upon archangels Michael and Raphael to lift fear-based energy from you, your surroundings, the situation, and everyone involved. Fear has got to go. Wow. The top of the deck, be willing to forgive. I can't stress enough, when I do these readings, I always ask my guides what decks to pull. And if they have me pull a bazillion decks, I will do it because everything fits. Everything is synchronistic. Ask the angels to clear your mind and body of past pain in exchange for peacefulness. Peace, guys, is what you are going to be working on, not only during this winter, summer season, but especially starting with this new moon in Capricorn. It's time to start doing something new and be willing to forgive. Ask for peace. What was I saying at the beginning of the reading, where so many people, when they set their intentions and do their affirmations, peace is nowhere to be found. Even with everything that I've been through, I've lost so many things, I've sacrificed so many things. I've gone through this whole journey. This year was the most challenging year of my life. But I always had peace in it. If I wouldn't have gone through all that stuff, if I wouldn't have gone through those challenges, I wouldn't have come out victorious without that God confidence, without that God strength, without that peace. And now every other challenge that I encounter, I know exactly where I need to be or what I need to do to combat that, to overcome it. Because 6 of Wands, we go through cycles. We lose battles, we win battles. The ones we lose are our greatest teachers. Even when the world is falling apart, like what happened with me, I still had a state of peace. I was still in alignment with my divine self. That is a huge accomplishment for humans to achieve. There's also something with divorce they just pointed out. Again, that's a divorce card. Somebody went through really bad divorce and was like, I don't want I don't want to go through that again. But they were lacking the faith. They were giving into the fear of it happening again. They were projecting the fear out, right? Watch your words. Write any worries, concerns, or desires on a piece of paper. Put it into a special container called a God box as a way of letting go and allowing the divine to help you. God will help you with everything. Choose only positive thoughts to describe everything. Your words determine your outcome. Okay? Oh, man. It's so funny. I'm laughing, guys, because my guides are laughing at me. Because I thought, oh, I'll do the new moon in Capricorn reading. It'll be probably about an hour. I thought it was done at the hour, honestly. But nowadays, no. This is meaningful conversation. This is meaningful discussion. This is meaningful work. And if it takes this long, so be it. Because these messages have to get out. And again, if you're still here, congratulations. You're really going to benefit from everything that was said in this reading. But yeah, congratulations to the masculines. For those of you who are watching this, who are masculine, you've come a long way. I'm so very proud of each and every one of you, because I know this wasn't easy. I know. And I even get very emotional when I hear these feminines giving up on their masculines and saying all these horrible things about them. I reached out and they had gotten their ego and this and that, or like I haven't heard from them in like 5 years or whatever. It's like, I can't go through this anymore, I'm giving up. That, when I see that, it hurts. It really makes me feel pretty sad. I come out of it, but that's why when I talk about this forgiveness thing, why I'm so emotional about it, it's because we have the ability to forgive. It's the unhealthy pride and ego, the shadow side of the Six of Wands, that gets the best of us, where we don't even contemplate doing that. So the masculines who are watching this, I put this at the top. Everything's going to work out. Because you know you are doing the honest thing. Now, I am getting that there are feminines here who are truly in their divine feminine energy. This will lead to the permanent union. This is like the big test. As I said, this tower could be, it's going to be a big blessing either way. But for some, if you get triggered, if you can't forgive when this person comes around, watch out. God's going to do a huge course correction in your life. And you're not going to like it. The others of you, this drastically changes the dynamic of your connection with your person. So the masculines, go forth and conquer. You got this. You've won over a lot of battles, a lot of wars. Especially with yourself. And with that wreath there, life goes in cycles, right? But we will come out on top. We will be victorious every time as long as we are fighting the good fight. And we know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And that we will grow, learn, and evolve from these challenges. To prepare ourselves for the next one. To prepare ourselves for chaos and destruction. Because I also just heard there is chaos and destruction coming in the world soon. You gotta have the strength to deal with that too. That's a reading for another day. So masculines, go forth and conquer, as I said. You got this. Follow your heart. It's safe for you to be powerful. It's safe for you to return. But remember, trust your intuition. If you feel you still have bitterness and anger, or you feel that your feminine does, pray. Love yourself. Keep doing you. For the feminines who still have dark energy in your heart space, you may want to think twice about that. You can go on with your soulmate, some other person, but you're not going to experience the love of a lifetime with anyone other than your divine counterpart. Period. Because all those other people, that bond that God created between you and those other people, they're not as strong as the one with your divine masculine. And you can only rule an empire with your emperor. No one else. All right. Congratulations, masculines. For those who are watching. I can't stress enough how proud I am of you. I really am. So don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Stay in the present moment. You just know, you know what you need to do, and that's the righteous and just thing. And when you do that, luck is on your side. The universe always has your back. The universe has your back regardless. But your wishes will come true. Your dreams will come true with communicating with the feminine. As long as you are in your power and you're in your integrity, you're speaking your truth. Everything turns out, everything works out in your favor. Everything turns out for the best when you are in your truth. Okay? Wow, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. As I said that, holy cannoli, that's the have faith number. Keep moving forward. You're doing a great job. All is well. Okay? Alrighty. I think my work is done here. Can't wait for tomorrow because my aunt's going to do my hair and I got to get her to cut my bangs because my bangs are growing like weeds. They're in my face. Anyway, guys, I hope this helped you. I really, really hope it did. As I mentioned, I do offer chakra healing. There's a lot of chakra stuff going on here. It's part of my healing services category in my Capella service suite. I do have a chakra healing package. When you buy packages, you save money if you want to buy multiple readings. And I do have a package that includes all 3 of my healing services: the ancestral pattern, relationship, which is constellation 1, and the chakra 1. So if you feel like you need all of those, by all means, go to my packages section and of my website. If you're in the mobile app, just go to book a reading and you should be able to see them there. So if you want to book all 3, you'll save money if you book all 3 of those as part of any other package you may want. There's divine masculine package. There are divine masculine packages, divine feminine packages there as well. Akashic records, the past life packages. That could be for some of you. Some of you really need to delve into your past life stuff and see what karma you're dealing with or what you keep repeating. I know it's been very helpful for a lot of people that I've done the Akashic records reading for. It's powerful, power animal, but it can be brutal, but it is necessary, okay, to better understand what you're dealing with this lifetime, amongst other things. Yeah, so I have those. I do divine masculine check-ins, divine feminine check-ins. the letters from your person, the handwritten letters, things like that. Um, those would be very beneficial for some of you, all of you, if you haven't had them done yet. But I won't be doing personal readings until I get back. So that's going to be like January 5th on, because I get back on the 4th, and I'll need like about a day to recover. And God knows what will happen between this recording and when I come back from vacation. So things could change. But if for readings, I won't be able to get to them until after the 4th. Now you can go ahead and book them. You can book your reading, just put it off of the calendar. I did leave my calendar open because I am only taking emergency readings while I'm on vacation, okay? I do bring a couple decks with me when I travel. So if you need me for anything, but it's emergencies only, okay? You can book an emergency reading with me while I'm on vacation. So yeah, anything else, you'll have to wait until after January 4th. What else is there? That's about it. Oh, the memberships. If you want to be part of Twin Flame support groups, if you want to be in my members only live sessions, and I talk about some crazy shit in my life lessons, my live streamed with my members only. You can benefit from those. There's exclusive content where you get access to guided meditation videos. I do have some of these chakra videos and other ones on my website. I do have to create more. I'm just trying to find some time here. It's still, still trying to adjust living with my parents. I'm grateful, don't get me wrong. And I'm just trying to find, it's a little bit of work. I haven't been here that long, so I'm working through it. It's very different when my son and I were in our own space, but you know, at least I'm able to do my work and I have the space to do it, you know. So I am going to be creating more of these, but I do have a lot of these sacred geometry meditations. I feel they are way more powerful than just listening to the solfeggio frequencies, okay? Because you've got solfeggio frequencies and you have the images. They work wonders for your healing. I highly recommend those. If you're part of a member, if you have a membership, you will have access to these videos. You have access to my daily guidance videos as well. Those are very beneficial. Monthly readings on how they feel about you, what the dynamic in your connection is, what's blocking you for the month, what you need to heal for the month. A bunch of amazing stuff. And the Plus memberships, they add in a benefit of accessing all of my extended readings. It's unlimited access to all of them. Okay, so that's what the Plus memberships. And some of the membership tiers do offer at least one coaching session a month and discounts to everything that I offer. Okay. All right, guys, that's my spiel on that. Don't forget to like and subscribe this. Share it with other people who you think can benefit from this. It does not have to be a divine counterpart. If you know somebody who can't forgive their mom, their dad, whatever, share it with them. If you got a hit on someone that you need to share this with, I highly recommend you click on that share button now and go send it to them. It's going to benefit them. Even if this is long, it's meaningful. It's going to help because it will bring more peace in your life. That's what I've been having in my life for years now. And I think it's way more valuable than having the six-figure salary that I had for years. I would rather have that peace than that paycheck that I used to get. That's a lot for me to say. Everything just flows. And it's just blissful. It's possible to live a life like that, even when shit's going on in your life. That is a big thing to have. So, if you want more peace in your life, you can ask me to coach you. I'm going to start up a coaching program, mentorship program. It's kind of like a subscription, just for that alone. So look out for that. I just got to consult my guys on how I'm going to do that. My other membership tiers will also help you with a lot of things. And one-on-one coaching with me will help as well. Okay? But of course, you've got to heed the guidance and do the work. I can't do it for you. All right, guys, that's your reading. Thank you so much for watching this video, for subscribing to this channel if you haven't already, and for illuminating a thumbs up. I never greatly appreciate it. Oh, they just reminded me. I have to sing because this is day 10. Somebody said it. Somebody said Jess hasn't sang yet. All right. What is 10? On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 10 lords a leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a milking, 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. Alright, there you have it. Here we go again. Thank you for watching this video, for subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, and for illuminating a thumbs up. I never greatly appreciate it. I wish you best today. I wish you the best today and always. I send you so much love, and I hope I illuminated your well-being today. Again, this is Jess from Capella Wellness, starring out.